Racing in this one. Hoagie, lane 1, Mello, lane 2, Hassan in lane number 3. Another 2 champs from Region 7 in this one, taking on a champ from Region 9 in Adriana Hassan. And results in a moment.
Got those results coming up in just a minute. This is another one that looked very visually close from the bridge, but we cannot guess on that. That's why we wait on here we are. Here's the official stats. Adriana Hassan leading phase number 1, followed by Alexa Mello at .013 and .049 for Samantha Hoagie.
Back to Masters, Heat 44, Phase 1. Lane 1 will be car 501 of Aiden Black from Stafford, Virginia. Black in lane 1. Lane 2, car 504 from Polk City, Iowa, Jacob Ham. Ham in lane 2. And in lane 3, it's car 503 from Milton, West Virginia, Miranda Terry. Terry in lane number 3. Off and racing now in Heat 44, Phase 1, Black in lane 1, Ham lane 2, Terry in lane number 3. All-Stars of Region 8, 4, and 6 in this one. Racing down for the finish. Aiden Black there in lane 1. Second on the board in rally wins this year. 17 wins this year for Aiden Black, 14 for Miranda Terry. Jacob Ham, number 5 on the board in rally points earned. So that's a strong heat. Lou, what do we got?
And Jacob Ham is a Youth Service Award winner, too. Mm-hmm. And he happens to take phase number 1 of Heat 44. Just behind by about a tenth of a second is Aiden Black and Miranda Terry at .027.
So a little bit of debris on the track. Not entirely surprising that some debris blew on the track. It is very, very windy here in Akron today. For those of you watching along on the official Soapbox Derby YouTube page, you see the flags on the screen blowing around pretty vigorously along the side of the track. So we do encourage everybody that's here at Derby Downs, make sure you got everything tied down, secured. We don't want to see things blowing onto the track. We want to keep that to a minimum. Stands to reason it's probably going to happen a couple of times as we go through the day today. But you can do your part. Keep those pizza boxes from Papa John's, any of the wrappers or containers from Thai Dog, the Ohio's Best Lemonade cups, keep those secured so we can keep our program going here today. Heat 41, Phase 1 is next. Lane 1, it's car number 9 from Fort Gibson, Oklahoma, Jamison Cook. Cook in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 510 from Owensboro, Kentucky, Benji Eds. Eds in lane 2. And in lane 3, it's car 505 from Unionville, Virginia, Savannah Huggins. Huggins in lane 3, and they are off and racing in this one. Cook out of Region 4 in lane 1. Eds out of Region 12 in lane 2. Huggins out of Region 8 in lane number 3. As these 3 All-Stars come across that tunnel, and here they pass in front of the grandstand. Down to the finish line come Cook, Eds, and Huggins.
Phase 1 results for Heat 41 has just come in a very close race indeed, but Benji Eds leads the way, followed by 2 1,000ths of Jamison Cook and Savannah Huggins, not too far off the mark at .014.
Super stock cars at the starting line. This will be Heat 61, Phase 1. Lane 1 will be car 600 of Sophia Rosa from Alvaton, Kentucky. Rosa in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 138 from Rittman, Ohio, Meredith Brown. Brown in lane 2. And in lane 3, car 152 from Owensboro, Kentucky, Braden Locker. Locker in lane number 3. And they are racing Rosa, Brown, and Locker. Rosa out of Region 12, Brown out of Region 6, Locker out of Region 12. It's been a good week thus far for these champs. Braden Locker with the big win yesterday in the local challenge. Sophia Rosa, most rally wins of anybody in any division this year with 24 rally wins.
That is impressive. So phase 1 results are coming in here momentarily for Heat 61. And it is Sophia Rosa out in front on this first phase of Heat 61, followed up by Meredith Brown at .038 and .056 for Braden Locker.
As we get ready for a second phase race here in stock, this will be Heat 81, Phase 2. Lane 1, car 707 of Baylor Flo. Flo in lane 1. Lane 2, car 718 of So August. August in lane 2. And lane 3, car 709 of Zachary Sally. Sally in lane 3. I guess I should also say, hold on to your hats today, too. Lou joined an exclusive club yesterday that I became a member of like 2 or 3 years ago. The My Hat Blew Off the Bridge Club. It happens to the best of them.
And we are grateful for the volunteers that went out and chased it down, too.
Yes, absolutely. Racing now between Flo, August, and Sally. Sally led the way after one phase by .019 over So August, .043 over Baylor Flo. So we'll see if Sally can hang on to that lead there in lane number 3.
Phase 2 results for Heat 81 are in now, and it is So August in the lead, followed very closely by Zach Sally at .002. That's 2/1000ths of a second. And Baylor Flo at .082.
Heat 64, Phase 2 in Superstock. Next, lane 1, car 654 of Lydia Marthy. Marthy in lane 1. Lane 2, car 642 of Audrey Auerda. Auerda in lane 2. Lane 3, car 680 of Alyssa Gardner. Gardner in lane 3. Do you want to remind everybody we do need help in run out? Last we looked down there were only 3 people down in run out. That's not enough. We need more. So if you're willing to help out in run out, please head down to run out. We sure would appreciate the help. If you can help later in the week, you can sign up for that. Check the Derby social media channels for the link on that. Marthy, Auerda, and Gardner on track right now. Your heat leader after 1 was Auerda, who's now in lane 2 with a .033 over Lydia. We'll see how that result changes things.
Okay, that came through really quick. Lydia Marthy, after 2 phases, is leading the way, followed up by Audrey Auerda at .007, very close margin. And behind at .049 is Alyssa Gardner.
So while we wait for this next heat, let's bring in the 2018 Rally Masters World Champion, Allison Pankoff. We were talking up here a minute ago. We don't usually see it this windy here in Akron, and now it's looking like it's kind of a crosswind from the airport side blowing over to what's left of the Rubber Bowl side, looking at the flags here. So how's that going to impact things for these drivers today?
It's just going to make these drivers work 10 times harder today, but this is the all-star race, so these kids have what it takes to fight this wind, but driving's going to get tricky today, and it's going to be a good race because of it.
Should be fun to watch as we go through the day today. Racing now in heat 45, phase 2. Lane 1, you've got Pierce Van Wart. Lane 2, Riley Scala. Lane 3, Brianna Scalatino. Van Wart, your heat leader after 1. Carrying a lead at .022 over Brianna, who's now in lane 3, and Riley, who's now in lane 2.
And the results have just come in for phase 2 of heat 45, and it goes to Pierce Van Wart, followed closely by Brianna Scalatino at .043, and off the mark at .047, it's Riley Scala.
Stock division heat 85, phase 1 next. Lane 1, car 732 from West Lynn, Oregon, Alistair McCann. McCann in lane 1. Lane 2, car 747 from Dover, New Hampshire, Mary Haran. Haran in lane 2. And in lane 3, car 906 from Conneaut, Ohio, Abby Estock. Estock in lane 3. We are racing All-Star Stock Division. Alistair McCann out of Region 1 in lane 1. Mary Haran from Region 10 in lane 2. Abby Estock from Region 6 in lane number 3. As we see the cheering sections, the cowbells are out this morning here in Akron as they get ready to cross the finish line. There they are. And we'll stand by for results from Lou.
Phase 1 results for heat 85 in the All-Star race, and it is Mary Haran out in front, followed by Abby Estock at .025 and .081 for Alistair McCann.
Next up will be Superstock Heat 63, Phase 2. Lane 1, car 652 from Gettsville, New York, Adriana Hassan. Hassan in lane 1. Lane 2, car 663 of Samantha Hoagie. Hoagie in lane 2. Lane 3, car 648 of Alexa Mello. Mello in lane 3. They are racing in Heat 63, Phase 2. Adriana Hassan, your heat leader in lane number 1. Has a .049 on Samantha in lane 2, a .013 on Alexa in lane 3. And those 3 champs in across the finish line. I still think Alexa has the most practical answer to the career interest thing on the bio card. Something that makes me rich.
Can't argue that logic, I'm telling you. And Alexa Mello is leading the way after 2 phases. Followed very closely by 8 1/1000ths of a second is Adriana Hassan. And at .034, still in the mix, Samantha Hoagie.
Going to have a test run here in just a moment. A champ getting a little bit of a track time opportunity here ahead of Saturday. So while we wait, do want to thank our title sponsor, First Energy, a leading energy company headquartered right here in Akron. We thank First Energy for all of their support of the First Energy All-American Soapbox Derby. We also thank the City of Akron for more than 80 years. The City of Akron has been host of the First Energy All-American Soapbox Derby, welcoming Derby champs from across the country and around the world, and we thank them for their continued support. We also thank the County of Summit and County Executive Eileen Shapiro for all of their support. We thank AUI Insurance, helping small businesses and individuals in Ohio find the right insurance and benefit plans, manage plan enrollment, and reduce compliance risks. We thank the Akron Summit Convention and Visitors Bureau, a proud partner of the International Soapbox Derby. The Akron Summit Convention and Visitors Bureau champions and promotes Greater Akron and Summit County as a memorable and entertaining location for leisure and business travel. We also thank Visit Canton for their support and encourage you to check out all the great things that Canton and Stark County have to offer while you're here this week.
That was a good run.
We also want to say good morning to everybody watching along on YouTube. We can see your comments on the live YouTube chat up here on the bridge, so feel free to interact with us as we go through the morning today. Think this is the last day that they'll have the comments on. Usually they shut them off for Saturday. But we always enjoy interacting with everybody watching at home on the official Soapbox Derby YouTube page. Heat 63, Phase 3 coming up next. Elimination phase. Lane 1, car 648 of Alexa Mello. Mello in lane 1. In lane 2, car 652 of Adriana Hassan. Hassan in lane 2. And in lane 3, it's car 663 of Samantha Hoagie. Hoagie in lane number 3. Racing in the elimination phase for Heat 63. Mello is your heat leader. Only has 8 1,000ths on Adriana Hassan. Watch that battle between lanes 1 and 2. Hoagie there in lane 3 was .034 back. Taking that ride down close to the guardrail on the outside there in lane number 3, but everybody across nice and clean. And Lou will get us the official results coming up.
Well, needless to say, the wind is a factor today for our champs. And we have the results in for don't have results in yet, but stand by. We're working on it. This is an elimination round. Heat 63.
While they work on that, we'll tell you Heat 44, Phase 2 is next. Miranda Terry in car 503, lane 1. Lane 2 is car 501 of Aiden Black, and lane 3 is car 504 of Jacob Ham. Results for Heat 82. Yeah.
Jason will have results for Heat 63 coming up momentarily.
And how about Heat 82, Phase 1 while we wait? Give the phase to Sadie Meyer. Meyer got the phase with a .037 on Katie Scotty and a .053 on Haley Hoagie. We've got cars on track. Heat 44, phase 2. Miranda Terry in lane 1, Aiden Black in lane 2, Jacob Ham in lane 3. Miranda Terry in her 12th and final year racing in the All-American. Third on the board in rally wins this year with 14 was Miranda Terry.
Results for phase 2 coming up momentarily, and we have them. It is Jacob Ham out in front, followed up by Aiden Black at .022 and .065 for Miranda Terry.
Heat 41, phase 2 is next. Lane 1, it's car 505 of Savannah Huggins. Huggins in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car number 9 of Jamison Cook. Cook in lane 2. And in lane number 3, it is car 510 of Benji Eds. Eds in lane number 3. Close one in the first phase between these three. Eds took it by 2 1,000ths over Jamison. Only 14 1,000ths the gap between Benji and Savannah.
Sounds like Benji has a support crew going on up there.
Yeah, I love to hear the cheering sections, and even with the wind, and when it's this windy, the grandstands make their own noise, but we can still hear you down here.
Yep.
As we've got Huggins, Cook, and Eds on track right now. Eds, the heat leader. Cook just 2 1,000ths back, and they hit the line pretty close together there.
Well, Benji Eds trades the lead with Jamison Cook, but Benji off the mark by .016 and .01 for Savannah Huggins. So as they move into phase 3, it's still anybody's game.
Heat 61, phase 2 is next. Lane 1, car 152 from Owensboro, Kentucky, Braden Locker. Locker in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 600 of Sophia Rosa. Rosa in lane 2. And in lane 3, car 138 of Meredith Brown. Brown in lane number 3. Getting these champs set to go. Favorite activities for these champs: Braden playing video games and playing outside. Sophia going to dance conventions, reading, making desserts for family to eat, and driving. Meredith said napping and goat whispering. How does one goat whisper? Anyways, on track, Locker, Rosa, and Brown. Rosa, who's now in lane 2, is your heat leader here after one phase by .038 over Meredith. Locker had .056 to make up, but looked pretty good there in lane number 1.
And it is Sophia Rosa leading the way after 2 phases in Heat 61, followed closely by Meredith Brown at .046 and Braden Locker in the mix at .035.
Elimination phase coming up in our stock division, Heat 81, phase 3, a close one. Lane 1, it's car 709 of Zachary Sally. Sally in lane 1. Lane 2, car 707 of Baylor Flo. Flo in lane 2. And in lane 3, it's car 718 of So-So August. August in lane 3. And August is your heat leader. 2 1,000ths to the good on Zachary Sally. 1.082 to Baylor Flo. And we are off and racing. Sally in lane 1, Flo lane 2, August in lane 3. I don't even know if I can read all the things on one of these bio cards. Sally says, like wrestling crocodiles flat out, they can be as bad as a cut snake. I don't think you're supposed to do that. Just a hunch. I think that's frowned upon. Who's it going to be moving on to the next round? August had the lead. Sally and Flo won it.
And it is Zachary Sally taking heat number 81. Look for Zachary to compete again in heat 87 coming up momentarily. And very close race behind by .052 So August. And Baylor Flo logging in at .100.
We do have an announcement we need to make. All cars parked behind the tents on the access road. You must move your vehicle to the gravel lot. There is no parking behind the tents on the access road back to the starting line. This is a safety issue with the return trucks, so if you're parked behind the tents on the access road, we need you to move your vehicle immediately. Thank you. Heat 65, phase 1 on track. Lane 1, it's car 658 from Stanton, Virginia, Caleb Gilbert. Gilbert in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 651 from Tarpon Springs, Florida, Ava David. David in lane 2. And in lane 3, car 661 from Warrensburg, Missouri, it's Johnny Bueller. Bueller in lane number 3. They cross the finish line. We talk about how stacked the super stock field is this year. All 3 champs in that heat, past world champions. So results here in just a moment from Lou.
Okay, we have interesting news for you. We have a dead phase. Avaya David and Johnny Bueller locked up, not far behind, .012 for Caleb Gilbert. The next phase should be very interesting.
Heat 64, phase 3 is next. Lane 1, it's car 680 of Alyssa Gardner. Gardner in lane 1. Lane 2, car 654 of Lydia Marthy. Marthy in lane 2. And lane 3, it's car 642 of Audrey Auerda. Auerda in lane number 3. Racing down, it was 7 1/1000ths between Lydia and Audrey for first place after 2. Alyssa still well within striking distance at a .049.
And it's Lydia Marthy holding on to take heat 64. Very close race at .015 off the mark for Audrey Auerda. Alyssa Gardner clocking in at .059.
As we see some debris blowing onto the track now, we're going to have a brief hold. Again, a reminder, please make sure that you have everything battened down. Hot dog wrappers go into garbage cans. Because anytime we have debris on the track, we do have to send somebody out to get it. That causes a delay in the program, especially when that person has to come from the top floor of the bridge, as is the case in this one. Again, a reminder, everyone parked behind the tents on the access road, we need you to move your vehicle immediately. It is a safety issue having you parked there with return trucks going up and down the access road. I think we got all the debris now. We are going to be set to go for Heat 66, Phase 1. Lane 1, this is going to be car 650 from Hurlock, Maryland, Ella Abbott. Abbott in Lane 1. In Lane 2, car 682 from Dover, New Hampshire, Trevor Behan. BN in lane 2, and in lane 3, it's car 139 from Fishers, Indiana, Davis Hinkle. Hinkle in lane number 3. And they are off and racing. Abbott, BN, and Hinkle. A battle of champs from regions 8, 10, and 5 across the track in this one. Ella wants to be a professional Wienermobile driver. BN, an abandoned storage unit auctioneer. Hinkle, a pharmacist. I think there's money in all of those, right? Especially now that they're like televising Wienermobile races on the Fox network or something.
A Wienermobile race at the Indianapolis 500. And it is Davis Hinkle leading the way after one phase. Followed closely by about a quarter of a second at .028, Trevor Behan and Ella Abbott at .061.
Masters Heat 45, Phase 3 is next. Lane 1, you'll have car 508 of Brianna Scalatino. Scalatino in lane number 1. Lane 2, it's car 509 of Pierce Van Wart. Van Wart in lane 2, and in lane 3, it's car number 1 of Riley Scala. Scala in lane number 3 as the wind picks up even more than it has been. We almost just lost one of our monitors up here, as we've got the hatches batten down here as well. As we look around here, it doesn't look like any imminent rain or anything. It's sunny here at Derby Downs, just extremely windy. Scalatino, Van Wart, and Scala on track now in an elimination phase in the All-Star Masters competition. Pierce Van Wart in lane 2 was your heat leader after 2 phases with a .043 on Brianna, a .047 on Riley. And as they cross the finish line to complete Heat 45, results coming up from Lou in a moment, barring the monitor blowing over again.
Yeah, it's pretty windy up here. And Heat 45 in the All-Star Masters goes to Pierce Van Wart. Logging in at .063, Brianna Scalatino and Riley Scala at .084. So look for Pierce Van Wart to compete again, upcoming in a few minutes in Heat number 49.
So we'll get those Masters champs out. Good morning to everybody watching along on YouTube. We see Alex, we see the Duo Bros, we see Candy. Good morning to everybody on YouTube. Thanks for joining us here this morning. Heat 85, Phase 2 next. Lane 1, car 906 of Abby Estock. Estock in lane number 1. Lane 2, car 732 of Alistair McCann. McCann in lane 2. And in lane 3, car 747 of Mary Haran. Haran in lane 3. Region 6, Region 1, Region 10. First phase, Region X got it done. Haran, your heat leader, through 1 by .025 over Abby.
Mary Haran manages to hold on to that lead after 2 phases. And she's followed by Abby Estock at .065 and .123 for Alistair McCann.
A super stock elimination phase coming up. Heat 63, Phase 3. Lane 1, car 648 from Clearwater, Florida, Alexa Mello. Mello in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 652 from Gettsville, New York, Adriana Hassan. Hassan in lane 2. And in lane 3, it's car 663 from Oviedo, Florida, Samantha Hoagie. Hoagie in lane 3. And racing here in Heat 63, Phase 3. Mello's got the heat lead by 8 1/1000ths after 2 phases. So Alexa has it. Adriana wants it. So does Samantha, .034 back after 2. Still anybody's heat. Here they come down to the finish line. We hear the cowbells as they come across.
It is Alexa Mello taking heat 63. As we mentioned, it was a close race at .028 for Adriana Hassan and Samantha Hoagie at .086.
Heat 62, phase 1 is next. First time on track today for these champs. Lane 1, car 641 from Castle Rock, Colorado, Tristan Toludo. Toludo in lane 1. Lane 2, car 612 from New Philadelphia, Ohio, Hudson Stull. Stull in lane 2. And in lane 3, car 904 of Shelton Taylor. Taylor in lane 3. And these three champs are racing. Toludo lane 1, Stull lane 2, Taylor in lane number 3. Battle of Regions 4, 6, and 5 in this one. Hudson Stull, 11 rally wins on the season. Tristan Toludo, second on the board in Superstock with 18 rally wins. Stull, second on the board in points. Toludo, fourth in points this year.
Tristan Toludo leading the way after this first phase on Heat 62. And as we mentioned earlier, very close competition. It's Hudson Stull off by 4/1000ths of a second, and back by .047 is Shelton Taylor.
Heat 82, phase 2 coming up next. Lane 1, it's car 712 of Katie Scotty. Scotty in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 704 of Sadie Meyer. Meyer in lane 2, and lane 3, it's car 713 of Haley Hoagie. Hoagie in lane 3. Standing by for a start between the champs from regions 5, 12, and 7. They are racing. Scotty in lane 1, Meyer in lane 2, Hoagie in lane 3. It was Meyer after one phase, leading the way by .037 over Katie, .053 over Haley. As these three champs race their way down this very windy Derby Downs course here today. And all three across the finish line clean. Lou will have results in a moment. Between our future interior designer, our future psychologist or bouncy ball tester, and our future worker in anything helping animals and people.
And the results are in for phase 2 for Heat 82. And Sadie Meyer is leading the way, followed closely by Katie Scotty at .014, and at .053 back, it's Haley Hoagie.
Next up, elimination phase in our Masters division. Heat 44, phase 3, lane 1 will be car 504 of Jacob Ham. Ham in lane 1. Lane 2, car 503 of Miranda Terry. Terry in lane 2. Lane 3 is car 501 of Aiden Black. Black in lane 3. Getting set for Ham, Terry, and Black.
This is being an elimination round for heat number 44, and they're off and racing. Jason.
Ham, Terry, and Black underway into that driver's left to driver's right crosswind that has been shifting down towards the finish line every now and again. But Ham, Terry, and Black making it look easy so far. Ham, your heat leader by .022 over Aiden. And 0.65 over Miranda. So we'll see how things shake out with Lou's results here in a moment. And as they were coming down the track, we started to see some of the flags starting to shift and go straight down the hill. So we're going to look for fast times today, too.
And we have results in for Heat 44. And we find Jacob Ham the victor, followed by Aiden Black at .037 and off the mark by .057. It is Miranda Terry. And that wind was, before it shifted, was forcing our champs over toward the wall. I saw them struggle as they were coming down.
Heat 41, phase 3 coming your way next. Lane 1, it's car 510 of Benji Eds. Eds in lane 1. In lane 2, it's car 505 of Savannah Huggins. Huggins in lane 2. And in lane number 3, it is car 9 of Jamison Cook. Cook in lane 3. Close heat between these three. Jamison Cook has the lead. Savannah there, .010 back. Benji, .016. So still anybody's heat here as they get ready to cross the finish line. There they pass under the bridge.
It is Jamison Cook advancing, taking Heat 41, followed very closely by Savannah Huggins at .017, and logging in at .026, it's Benji Eds.
Heat 61, phase 3 next. Lane 1 will be car 138 of Meredith Brown. Brown in lane 1. Lane 2, car 152 of Braden Locker. Locker in lane 2. And lane 3, it's car 600 of Sophia Rosa. Rosa in lane 3. Meredith Brown always has one of my favorite career interests on her bio card. Second shift fry cook at the Krusty Krab with hopes of owning her own franchise someday. Does Mr. Krabs franchise? Anything to get him some money, I suppose, right?
Yeah, people got to have their Krabby Patties, man.
And Mr. Krabs has to have his money. Halfway home between Brown, Locker, and Rosa. Rosa, your heat leader by .035. Brown at a .046. Crossing the finish line. We'll see who's moving on to the next round. We look at the results here, and it is a dead heat. A dead heat after 3 phases between Sophia Rosa and Braden Locker. So with that, we'll have to run those two back up and try it again to see who's moving on to the next round. It'll be Heat 71 on heat sheets. Rosa and Locker, dead heat in Heat 61. And really, yeah, I mean, we look at the gap there. The gap back to Meredith Brown was only .019 after 3. So an incredible race. And really, that's kind of what we've seen out of Superstock all week here is really, really close racing, particularly in the Rally Superstock back on Tuesday. Some really close racing, but a dead heat will need to be broken there.
We got a test run going right now.
Well, we have that test run coming down the track. We thank TaylorMade Jewelry, the official jeweler of the First Energy All-American Soapbox Derby, providing the beautiful championship rings awarded to each world champion. And we thank Enduro Photo, the official race photographers of the International Soapbox Derby Race Week. Enduro Photo providing premier sports action photography for events, creating portfolios of images for participants, events, and select publications. You can visit them up at Topside. You can also visit Custom Apparel up at Topside. For all your Derby drip needs, Custom Apparel up at Topside. Great new collection for 2025. And we're going to have to reset a cone here before we send our next heat. We're going to check a couple of things down at the finish line. While we do that, we thank the University of Akron College of Engineering for all their support of the Derby. We also thank Toth Buick GMC. Our champs ride in style back from run out up to the top in those beautiful Toth GMC trucks. We appreciate Toth Buick GMC for being back with us this year. We thank the Bill Spieg Memorial Scholarship Fund, which will hand out $36,000 in scholarships on Saturday. Bill Spieg was a dedicated race director, loved the Soapbox Derby and the kids, and the Bill Spieg Memorial Scholarship Fund will be writing some big checks coming up in just 2 days' time. We also thank Huntington Bank, the official partner of the Soapbox Derby. For all your banking needs, visit a local Huntington Bank branch today. And we thank the sponsors supporting the Derby: Siebert Keck, SC Fastening, Solid Works, Malco, Thompson Electric, Rotzel and Andrus, Fallsway, State and Federal Communications, the Townsend Corporation, Tamario, Sully's, Lake Erie Golf Carts, Miracle Awards, Acme, Terrigan Advertising, and Papa John's Pizza. Okay, we've got everything set. We can get back to racing here. This will be Heat 65, Phase 2. Lane 1, it is car 661 of Johnny Bueller. Bueller in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 658 of Caleb Gilbert. Gilbert in lane 2. And in lane number 3, it's car 651 of Ava David. David in lane 3 as these champs are on track. Ava David and Johnny Bueller dead phased in the first phase, with Gilbert just 12 1,000ths back. So we got a good, competitive, all-star super stock heat coming your way. Here they are at the finish line. And results in a moment.
It's Ava David stepping out to take phase 2. We knew this was going to be a close race, backed by .014. It's Johnny Bueller, and .027 for Caleb Gilbert.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't say good morning to the Florida crew down here. They're down here almost every day in the grandstands. Good to see you guys down there. Heat 66, Phase 2 is next. Lane 1, it's car 139 of Davis Hinkle. Hinkle in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 650 of Ella Abbott. Abbott in lane 2, and in lane 3, it's car 682 of Trevor Bien. Bien in lane number 3. So our future pharmacist, professional Wienermobile driver, and abandoned storage unit auctioneer getting set to go at it here. And we are racing. Hinkle in lane 1, Abbott lane 2, Bien in lane 3. Davis Hinkle leads the heat by .028 over Trevor and .061 over Ella. So let's see what happens here in phase 2. They pass in front of the grandstands and cross the finish line.
And we the leads. After a second phase, we find Trevor Behan leading the way, followed closely by Davis Hinkle at .013. And at .07, we have Ella Abbott.
Heat 85, phase 3 is next. Lane number 1, it is car 747 of Mary Haran. Haran in lane 1. In lane 2, it's car 906 of Abby Estock. Estock in lane 2. And in lane 3, it's car 732 of Alistair McCann. McCann in lane number 3. So Haran, Estock, and McCann about halfway now. Haran, your heat leader after 2 phases. So we'll see if it's Mary moving on or if Abby can close a gap of .065 or Alistair close a gap of .123. I think this one's going to be close. We'll get the results.
And it is Mary Haran taking heat number 85. Logging in at .012, Abby Estock, and at .091, Alistair McCann.
Next, we've got Heat 46, Phase 1. Lane 1, it's car 506 from Conneaut, Ohio, Kason Hayes. Hayes in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car number 3 from Las Vegas, Nevada, Aubrey Gresco. Gresco in lane 2. And in lane 3, car 502 from Port Republic, Virginia, Grayson Lilly. Lilly in lane number 3. Racing between Hayes, Gresco, and Lilly. Region 6, Region 2, and Region 8 represented in this first round heat in our All-Star Masters competition.
And those phase 1 results are just in from heat number 46. And it is Kason Hayes leading the way, followed by Grayson Lilly off the mark by 9 one-thousandths of a second. And at .021, Aubrey Gresco. We're loading up heat number 62 right now. We got Shelton Taylor in the 904 car and Tristan Tolulo in the 642 car in lane 2. Of course, is Toludo. And we have, of course, Shelton in lane number 1. Over in lane number 3, it is Hudson Stahl in the 612 car. Just about ready to race. And here they come. Shelton Taylor out of Indianapolis area. Region 5. Here come the champs over the tunnel and across the grandstands. We'll have the results for you here momentarily. Close racing here at Derby Downs today. 87th, First Energy All-American Soapbox Derby. And we have Tristan Toludo leading the way with a difference of 4 thousandths over a Hudson Stahl at .054. It is Shelton Taylor.
Had a dead phase there between lanes 2 and 3 in that one. So good competitive racing again in the Superstock division. And I said it earlier in the week, Superstock, Rally Superstock in particular, but Superstock across the board was kind of where I had things circled as, pay a little bit of extra attention because that's going to be some fun racing. It all is, but that's the one that really stuck out to me on paper coming into the week. Heat 83, Phase 1 on track, Lane 1, car 706 from Columbus, Ohio, Delaney Nichols. Nichols in Lane 1. Lane 2, car 334 from Indianapolis, Indiana, Demaya Wilson. Wilson in Lane 2. And Lane 3 is car 705 from Keystone, Nebraska, Dylan Auerda. Auerda in Lane 3.
Phase number 1 for Heat 83 goes to Dylan Auerda. And we have a kind of a dead phase there between Delaney Nichols and Demaya Wilson, both off the mark by .039.
Heat 82, Phase 3 next for the stock division. Lane 1, car 713 of Haley Hoagie. Hoagie in Lane 1. Lane 2, car 712 of Katie Scotty. Scotty in Lane 2, and in Lane 3, it's car 704 of Sadie Meyer. Meyer in lane number 3. And we're racing Hoagie, Scotty, and Meyer. 2 phases in, Meyer leads the heat by .014 over Katie. .053 over Haley. Look good so far as they get ready to come down here. They cross the finish line. Will be our champ from region 7, 5, or 12 moving on to the next round.
And it will be Sadie Meyer moving on to the next round, taking heat number 82. Closely followed by Katie Scotty at .023 and .132 for Haley Hoagie.
Next up in our All-Star Masters competition, Heat 42, Phase 1, Lane 1, it's car 17 of Annie Davis from Jamestown, New York. Davis in Lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 529 of JJ Carboni. Carboni in Lane 2. And in lane number 3, car 500 of Brenna Kilby from Kansas City, Missouri. Kilby in lane number 3. And they are off and racing. Davis, lane 1, Carboni, lane 2, Kilby, lane 3. Kilby already off to a good start this week. Won the Rally Challenge back on Tuesday in the Masters division. Davis, Carboni with great races earlier this week as well. There they are across the finish line. Annie Davis, our fan of sleeping and eating ice cream. JJ Carboni, our future monkey massage therapist.
Here we go. It's Brenna Kilby leading the way after the first phase of heat number 42. And off the mark by .027, it is JJ Carboni. And back by 0.63, it is Annie Davis of Jamestown. We have a sunny, nice day for racing, and we're doing All-Star Masters right now. Yeah, the wind's a little bit of a factor, but it's turned out to be a great day for racing.
Sure has, as we get ready to flip it over to Superstock next. This will be Heat 71, Phase 1. We're going to run them as we get them today. It's going to be a little bit more like a normal rally where when you're at the starting ramps, we're sending you. Heat 71, Phase 1. Lane 1, car 600 of Sophia Rosa. Rosa in lane 1, and in lane 3, it's car 152 of Braden Locker. Locker in lane 3. Second round action here in All-Star Superstock. A couple of very experienced and very strong champs in the Superstock division crossing the finish line.
We've just completed the first phase of Heat 71, and that goes to Braden Locker. Off by 15 1,000ths of a second, it is Sophia Rosa.
Heat 86, Phase 1 coming up in the stock division. Lane 1, it's car 715 of Drew Brand out of Omaha, Nebraska. Brand in lane 1. Lane 2, car 703 of Brooklyn Huggins. Huggins in lane 2, and in lane 3, car 721 from Clearwater, Florida, Addison Mello. Mello in lane 3. And getting set to go now and racing. Brandon lane 1 out of region 4, Huggins. In lane 2, region 8. Lane 3, Mello, region 7. A future sports analyst for ESPN, a future marine biologist, and a future doctor or contortionist. Coming across the finish line now. I guess racing in these stock cars probably is good preparation to be a contortionist, having to get into position like that.
And here we go. It's Drew Brand leading the way after one phase in heat number 86 at .048. It is Addison Mello, and back by 0.078. It's Brooklyn Huggins. Looked like the wind was a little factor in that last race.
Standing by for a test run now, and while we do that, we'll thank the following foundations for their support: the Akron Community Foundation, the Barberton Community Foundation, the Bowman Fund, the Bridgestone Americas Trust Fund, the City of Akron, the City of Cuyahoga Falls, the County of Summit, the First Energy Foundation, the Glen R. and Alice V. Bogus Foundation, the Huntington Charitable Grant Program, the J.M. Smucker Company, the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, the Laura R. and Lucian Q. Moffitt Foundation, the Lenner Family Foundation, the Lloyd L. and Louise K. Smith Foundation, the Maynard Family Foundation, the Ohio Hotel and Lodging Association, the Pinkerton Foundation, the Reed Family Fund, the Ritchie Memorial Foundation, the Robert O. and Anna Mae Orr Foundation, the Sisler McFawn Foundation, the State of Ohio, the Summit County Department of Community and Economic Development, the Summit Educational Service Center, the Synthomer Foundation, the Vernon McKibben Memorial Foundation, and the Welty Family Foundation. Superstock elimination phase coming up. Heat 65, phase 3, Ava David in lane number 1 in car 651. Johnny Bueller in lane 2 in car 661. Caleb Gilbert in lane 3 in car 658. Ava David's your heat leader in this one as they are on track. David, the 2022 local stock world champion. Bueller in lane 2, .014 back. The 2021 local stock champion. Gilbert in lane number 3, the 2024 local super stock champion, .027 back. Just about as stacked a heat as you'll see as they come down to the finish line. These heats drawn at random back on Saturday. I was there. The lottery machine was in play.
And it will be Ava David advancing on to the next round. Look for her next race to be in Heat 69 in that 651 car. Very close race indeed. Caleb Gilbert just behind by .003, and Johnny Bueller behind at .046.
Heat 66, Phase 3 is next. Lane 1, it is car 682 of Trevor Bien. Bien in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 139 of Davis Hinkle. Hinkle, lane 2. Lane 3, it's car 650 of Ella Abbott. Abbott in lane number 3. Close racing between this group. Bien, your heat leader after 2. Hinkle wants to close that gap of .013. Abbott's got a .070 to work on to advance to the next round.
And the results have just come in for Heat 66, and it finds Trevor Bien advancing to the next round. Close behind was Davis Hinkle at .016, and off the mark by .071, it's Ella Abbott. Look for Trevor Bien to compete in the next round on Heat number 69.
You should see the photo out of that last phase. That phase was incredible. That might have been, I think they took the photo finish down. That might have been an inch at most separating those three. On track right now. You've got Heat 84 Phase 1 between Aria Stiers, Lily Brand, and Ava Deal. That one across the finish line.
Okay, Heat 84, another extremely close round, but it is Ava Deal stepping out and taking the lead in this first phase, followed by Aria Stiers, 2/1000ths of a second back, and Lily Brand logging in at .023. Still, as we move on to the next phase, it's probably anybody's race.
A reminder again, if you are parked along the access road behind the canopies, you must move your vehicle immediately or you will be towed. Again, you must move your vehicle immediately or you will be towed. If you are behind the canopies on the access road, you are creating a safety issue. You must move your vehicle at once. Heat 46, Phase 2 coming your way next. Lane 1, it's car 502 of Grayson Lilly. Lilly in lane 1. In lane 2, it's car 506 of Kason Hayes. Hayes in lane 2. And in lane 3, it's car 3 of Aubrey Gresco. Gresco in lane number 3. Off and racing, 21/1000ths cover the field in this one after one phase. Kason Hayes, your heat leader in lane number 2. Grayson Lilly in lane 1, 9/1000ths back. Aubrey Gresco in lane 3, .021 back. Good close racing in the All-Star Masters. We'll see if the three-time world champ can hold on to the lead.
Kaysen Hayes does indeed hold on to that lead after the end of phase 2. Very close race. Grayson Lilly at .017 back and .071 back. It's Aubrey Gresco.
Heat 43, phase 1 up next. Lane 1, it's car 905 of Logan Smith. Smith in lane 1. In lane 2, it's car 519 of Ella Probst. Probst in lane 2. And in lane 3, car 517 of Gerald Young. Young in lane 3. As we continue on in the first round of All-Star Masters. These champs out of Woodstock, Illinois, Akron, Ohio, and Indianapolis, Indiana set to do battle. Boy, I tell you, this is one of the days I look forward to every week when we get to see what is essentially best on best, because we do split them a little bit. There are some of the top rally champs that qualified as local champs. So this is the one shot we see each year where we get to put everybody head to head, and it is an awful lot of fun. So we're racing now in Heat 43. Smith, Probst, and Young. Region 5, Region 6, Region 5 across the track here. A fan of playing electric guitar or bass is Logan Smith. The importance of a comma in this bio card. Playing electric guitar or bass, comma, fishing, comma, that could, without the commas, that could go a few different ways. I'm not an English professor, I'm a communications professor, but commas are important.
Okay, the results just came in for phase number 1 for Heat 43, and it is Logan Smith leading the way. And off by 0.3, it's Ella Probst, and at .019, it's Gerald Young.
More super stock action, this an elimination phase. Lane 1, you've got car 612 of Hudson Stahl. Stahl in lane 1. Lane 2, car 904 of Shelton Taylor. Taylor in lane 2. And in lane 3, car 641 of Tristan Toludo. Toludo in lane 3. And we are racing. In Heat 62, Phase 3, Stahl in lane 1, Taylor in lane 2, Toludo in lane 3. Close first phase, Toludo had it. Stahl close, 4/1000. Shelton right there, .054 behind after 1. And more close racing out of these super stock champs.
And Tristan Toludo holds on to take heat number 62. Off by about 1/4 of a second, it's Hudson Stahl and Shelton Taylor at .082. So look for Tristan Toludo to move on to the next round. You'll see him race next in heat number 67.
Heat 83, Phase 2 coming up next. Lane 1, you've got car 705 of Dylan Awarda. Awarda in lane 1. In lane 2, car 706 of Delaney Nichols. Nichols in lane 2. And lane 3, car 334 of Demaya Wilson. Wilson in lane number 3. Dylan Awarda told us wants to be a professional artist or Fortnite player. Esports, those esports players, they make bank these days. Delaney told us wants to go into the Ivy League, study marine biology. Demaya is still working on it, which at 8 years old, I mean, yeah, of course that's what you're supposed to be doing at 8 years old. Not supposed to be figuring that out yet. Can if you want, but Howard, your heat leader after 2. 0.039 back to both of them. It was a dead phase for second in phase 1.
It is Dylan Auerta holding on to that lead. Separated by .073 behind, it's Demaya Wilson and .054 for Delaney Nichols.
Getting set for Heat 42, Phase 2, Lane 1. It's car 500 of Brenna Kilby. Kilby in Lane 1. In Lane 2, it's car 17 of Annie Davis. Davis in Lane 2. And in Lane 3, car 529 of JJ Carboni. Carboni in Lane 3. Get our Masters champ situated up there. And they are racing. Kilby, your heat leader in lane 1. Davis in lane 2. Carboni in lane number 3. Kilby had a .027 over JJ, a .063 over Annie Davis. And as they cross the tunnel and pass in front of the grandstands, the cowbells are ringing for these 3 champs. As we stand by for results.
And it is Brenda Kilby managing to hold on to her lead after phase 2 in heat 42. Off the mark by a third of a second, it's JJ Carboni, and at .109, Annie Davis comes in third.
Back to second round. Actually, check that. This is I believe this is our dead heat from earlier, correct? Yes. Braden Locker in lane 1, Sophia Rosa in lane 3. We got to break the dead heat. 1 phase in. Locker, your leader by .015. These 2 raced to a dead heat a little while ago after 3 phases. And they are off and racing. Let's see who it's going to be. Moving on to round 2. Locker in lane 1. Rosa in lane 3. Locker, your local challenge champion in Superstock from yesterday. Rosa, your top rally winner and point earner of the year in Superstock. Who's it going to be? In a great heat here to break a dead heat.
It is so hard to tell from the bridge when they come in so close. That's why we rely on the clocks. And oh my, Sophia Rosa will advance by 1/1000th Braden Locker. Almost another dead heat. So look for Sophia Rosa to move on to heat number 67 and the 600 car. And I have a feeling we haven't heard the last from Braden Locker.
Absolutely not. Let me reiterate what we just saw. We saw 5 phases between those 2 champs. 5 phases, and they're separated by 1/1000th of a second after 5. That is incredible. All-Star Stock, Heat 86, Phase 2 coming up. How do you follow that? Wow. Lane 1, Heat 86, Phase 2, car 721 of Addison Mello. Lane 2, car 715, it's Drew Brand in lane 2. Lane 3, Brooklyn Huggins in car 703. Drew Brand, your heat leader. Mello right there, .048 back. Huggins, .078 back. There's the finish line.
It is Drew Brand leading the way after phase 2 on heat number 86. Not too far behind, it is Brooklyn Huggins at .083, and at .129 off the mark, it's Addison Mello.
All right, let's go back-to-back with the Mellows here. Heat 68, Phase 1. This will start round number 2 of Superstock. Lane 1, car 654 from Massillon, Ohio, Lydia Marthy. Marthy in lane 1. In lane 3, car 648 from Clearwater, Florida, Alexa Mello. Mello in lane 3. It'll be 2-car, 2-lane heats in the second round here in the All-Star race. We whittle down from 18 to 6, then we'll whittle from 6 to 3, and that'll be championship heat time. Marthy in lane 1, Mello in lane 3. So far, so good between the champs from Region 6 and 7. Here's the finish line for Marthy and Alexa Mello.
Another close race. After the first phase in heat 68, the two are separated by 5 one-thousandths of a second. However, Alexa Mello takes phase number 1. Lydia Marthy at .005. I got to hand it to those champs in lane number 1. After watching for a while, I can tell that the wind is definitely a factor in today's races. Have to be a real pro to keep off that wall.
Heat 84, Phase 2 is next. Lane 1, it is car 700 of Ava Deal. Deal in lane 1. Lane 2, car 720 of Aria Stiers. Stiers in lane 2. And in lane number 3, it is car 701 of Lily Brand. Brand in lane number 3. Often racing between Deal, Stiers, and Brand. As we continue in the first round of our All-Star stock race, Deal leads the heat by .002 after 1. Lily Brand, .023. So some very strong champs here. Coming in for the finish. Deal, your top winner and point earner in the stock division. Brand a tie for first place in those wins. Deal and Brand each with 18 wins this year.
It is Ava Deal leading the way after phase 2. Behind by .075, it is Aria Stiers and Lily Brand off the mark at .093.
Heat 46, Phase 3 coming up, lane 1. It's car number 3 of Aubrey Gresco. Gresco in lane 1. In lane 2, car 502 of Grayson Lilly. Lilly in lane 2. And in lane number 3, it's car 506 of Kaysen Hayes. Hayes in lane 3. Racing now between Gresco, Lilly, and Hayes. Hayes leads the heat by .017 over Lilly. Aubrey Gresco .071 back. Good start to the week for Kaysen Hayes, third place in the Rally Challenge back on Tuesday. Elimination phase between these two. We'll see if the champ from Region 6 will advance.
Our champ from Region 6 will advance. Kaysen Hayes takes heat number 46. Not too far behind Grayson Lilly at .018. And at .019, it's Aubrey Gresco.
Heat 87, phase 1 is next. Lane 1, it's car 709 of Zachary Sally. Sally in lane 1, and in lane 3, it's car 704 of Sadie Meyer. Meyer in lane 3, two-car heat, second round, all-star stock. Region 12 will have a spot in the championship heat in all-star stock. Both these champs out of Region 12. Question now, who will it be? Will it be Sally or Sadie Meyer? Close one between those two. I've got to ask the only person up here that has a mic that's on a commission. Am I allowed to read what's on that card? Am I allowed to say that? I don't even know.
Phase 1 results for heat number 87, and it finds Sadie Meyer as our leader. Back by 3/1000ths of a second is Zachary Sally. So a very close race here at heat 87 so far.
Allison said I probably shouldn't read that thing that's on the bio card. I won't say which champ it was. I will say there were like 3 champs behind that champ at opening ceremony saying, no, don't read it. Don't read it. Heat 43, phase 2 next. Lane 1, car 517 of Gerald Young. Young in lane 1. Lane 2, car 905 of Logan Smith. Smith in lane 2. And lane 3, car 519 of Ella Probst. Probst in lane 3. Smith, your heat leader here by .019 over Gerald. .030 over Ella. Racing now between Young, Smith, and Probst. A couple of champs from Region 5 and a champ from Region 6 here.
Results forthcoming for phase 2 of heat 43. Will Logan Smith hold on to his lead? And he will. After 2 phases, it's Logan Smith leading the way, followed by Ella Probst at .019 and Gerald Young at .034.
Getting set now for Heat 83, Phase 3, an elimination phase here. When we get back going here, it'll be Demaya Wilson in lane 1, Dylan Alwarda in lane 2, and Delaney Nichols in lane number 3. Elimination phase here. Once we get back rolling, it'll be Alwarda leading the way in this heat. Nichols, the 2024 Rally Stock World Champ, .054 behind. Wilson, .073. Okay, just about set to go here as we see champs getting back into position for Heat 83, Phase 3. And we're racing between Demaya Wilson, Dylan Auerda, and Delaney Nichols. Dylan Auerda showing the way after 2 phases. We'll see how he handles lane 2 in this one. So will it be Dylan moving on, or will Demaya close point 073? Will Delaney close point 054? We're about to find out.
Results forthcoming for this Heat 83. Who will advance? And that data has come in, and it finds Dylan Auerda, the winner of Heat number 83, followed by Delaney Nichols at .056, and at .099 off the mark, it was Demaya Wilson. So look for Dylan Auerda to compete again coming up in a little bit, and that will be on Heat number 88. And he's piloting that 705 car.
On track now, you've got Heat 42, Phase 3, JJ Carboni in lane 1, Brenna Kilby in lane 2, Annie Davis in lane 3. Brenna Kilby, your Heat leader by .030 over JJ. Is the heat between our future monkey massage therapist, our future F1 driver living the rock and roll lifestyle, and future lawyer underwater badminton champion comes to an end.
And it is Brenna Kilby of Kansas City, Missouri, advancing to the next round off of Heat number 43. Back by .043, it is JJ Carboni and Annie Davis clocking in at .0 or .140. 147 rather.
Heat 86, Phase 3. Lane 1, car 703 of Brooklyn Huggins. Huggins in lane 1. Lane 2, car 721 of Addison Mello. Mello in lane 2. And in lane number 3, it's car 715 of Drew Brand. Brand in lane 3. They are on track. Huggins, Mello, and Brand. Drew Brand, after 2 phases, .083 to the good on Brooklyn Huggins. A little over a tenth back to Addison. Brand racing there in lane number 3. We'll have results in a moment.
We're looking at Heat number 86, and we're at the point where this is an elimination round. And the data is coming in, and it shows Drew Brand as the victor, followed by Brooklyn Huggins at .113 and Addison Mello at .181.
Heat 68, Phase 2 next. Lane 1, it's car 648 of Alexa Mello. Mello in lane 1. And in lane 3, it's car 654 of Lydia Marthy. Marthy in lane 3. Second round, All-Star Superstock. Off and racing. You got Mello in lane 1, Marthy in lane 3. The gap from Alexa to Lydia, .005 after one phase. More of that close racing we've seen all week long in the super stock division. And some more of it right here. They cross the tunnel. They pass the grandstands. The cowbells are ringing. They're crossing the finish line. And Lou's going to give you results here in a moment.
All right, that data is coming in on this elimination round. And it will be Alexa Mello moving on to the next round. Look for Alexa to race again in heat number 70. A very close race indeed by .035. It is Lydia Marthy.
Time to settle a first round heat in All-Star stock. Lane 1, car 701 from Omaha, Nebraska, Lily Brand. Brand in lane 1. Lane 2, it's car 700 from Livingston Manor, New York, Ava Deal. Deal in lane 2. And in lane number 3, it's car 720 of Aria Stiers. Stiers in lane number 3. Racing in heat 84, phase 3, Brand in lane 1, Deal, your heat leader, in lane 2, Stiers in lane number 3. Stiers with a gap of .075 to close. Brand a gap of .093. Racing down across the finish line now.
Ava Deal managing to hold on to that lead and taking heat number 84. Look for Ava to compete again in heat number 88. Just behind at .67, .067, it was Lily Brand. And at .111, it is Aria Stiers.
Heat 87, phase 2 coming up. Lane 1, it's car 704 of Sadie Meyer. Meyer in lane 1. Lane 3, it's car 709 of Zachary Sally. Sally in lane 3. Sadie, your heat leader. Zachary Sally just 3 1,000ths of a second behind after that first phase. Stock getting in on the close racing here. Who's about to punch their ticket to the championship heat? Will it be Sadie or will it be Zachary?
Heat 87 results just in. It'll be Sadie Meyer advancing on to the next round. Look for Sadie to compete in heat number 90 upcoming. A very close race at .038 for Zachary Sally.
We still have 2 cars. It happens to be 2 Subarus on the hill up there next to the access road. Again, you must move your cars immediately. You are risking being towed. You are creating a safety issue. If one of those 2 Subarus belongs to you, get up there and move it. We need those out of there immediately. While we have a hold here as we wait for cars, and since I just saw one of our great photographers from Enduro Photo, Tim Phillis, up here on the bridge, don't forget to purchase your photos from Enduro Photo, the official photographers of the All-American Soapbox Derby. They take hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of photos throughout the week. So make sure you get the official photos of your champ from Enduro Photo.